Come on.
All right. Should be running. Should be a thing that's happening.
Good heavens, and welcome to Phonyville. That's not the face I make every time I do that. I don't usually do that.
That's what we're starting with.
So we delete that. Wow. Welcome to Phonyville. This is our Christmas special. I'm bad at winking. You want to try that? You want to give that a go?
I'm terrible.
As you can see, this is super unofficial, off the cuff, unplanned. We kind of have a list of things we want to talk about in no particular order. First of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day, Hearthwarming Eve.
Hearthwarming Eve. It encompasses all of them.
I think Hearthwarming
However, the
Eve.
traditions are still Christmas if you look at the show.
It's true.
So they just want
Technically
to
true.
on something.
Yeah, and it's kind of the strawberry shortcake way of saying Merry Christmas. I got the eyebrow going, but I can't get the... Anyway. I can, wink with both eyes.
Everyone can.
No, I thought that was my special talent. Dang it, I'm gonna have to get this cutie mark tattoo erased now.
Oh.
Once again, welcome to Phonyville. Let me just explain
with
what's...
the mic every time you hit the table. Just FYI.
Fine, I'll just...
There.
No
Okay.
elbows on the
Good.
table, right,
Yeah.
Mom?
There's a reason for that. She didn't want you to disrupt the recorder she had on you at all times.
I believe that. When you said recorder, it reminds me of a rather painful story from my childhood.
Involving
See-
a recorder, a tuba, and a xylophone.
How did you know? No, I remember when I was little, I was still really interested in recording sound and stuff, and obviously I haven't grown up. And my mom asked, I was like 5. My mom asked if I wanted a recorder. I was like, heck yes, I want a recorder. She's like, okay, I'll get you a recorder. And so she took me to the store, and she bought me this flute thing. I was like, this isn't a cool, tape deck thing. I didn't understand the concept of a recorder. But it also proves that everybody has at some point in their life owned a recorder and didn't ever really learn to play it.
That is true.
Everybody. Except for Link, what's his last name? From Red and Link. Link, you know Link. He plays a recorder.
McLaughlin.
No, that's Rhett.
That
Rhett McLaughlin. Isn't it Link Neal? Is that his last name?
Link, is it? I
Is
thought it was
it?
the other way around.
Are you sure?
It could be Neil.
Nobody knows.
Actually, I do believe it is Neil.
Link
now.
Neal? Yeah.
Um,
Point is, he plays the recorder. He's like the only person who ever actually learned how to record it. Wait, to play the recorder. I don't know what I was saying. We're at a, do we say the name of the business? We're at a place. It's like a paneria, which is a place
There
that
we
sells
go.
bread.
Perfect. No lawsuits there.
No lawsuits for being at the paneria. No, move the logo. No, don't, oh shoot. Don't put that in the frame. Anyway, we're just kind of recording this thing and people are giving us weird looks, but we wanted to do a Christmas special because we love you, listener, and because we're lonely nerds with no lives.
I like the fact that you had listener. As
Listener,
in one listener.
singular. No, it's like the FDR fireside chat thing, where you're like, I am talking to you and you only if you're the only one that owns a radio. One of those.
Oh,
there's no
I
fireside.
guess,
Well, there's like a fireside over there, but there are not as many people over here. So we're recording over here. Good place to be. I've got my Ellis Arts pin here. Yes. Awesomely talented artist at Awesome Con, actually, made that for me. Commission, cool stuff. Commissions are the best, especially when you have no artistic talent. This guy, he can draw, which he never told me. And randomly, he's just like, hey, look at the stuff I made. Anyway, it's kind of getting off topic. So now we will raise our goblet of rock.
Speaking of art, in fact, yes.
Try that one more time. We'll raise our goblet of rock and commence. Awkward transition. or whatever.
And it's gonna be after the fact too. It's gonna be after the actual transition happens and in the new video, because the old video doesn't have the awkward transition part in it. So.
I think he was saying that we have about one listener. No, we have more listeners than that, if our statistics are any indicator. However, we have one listener who is just a cool person and they made a thing based off of his art that was cool. Cool community stuff. Cool stuff. Eyebrow. Wow. If you can guess what we're drinking, we'll give you a muffin.
From that very clever. Are you wearing it?
Wearing what?
The bow tie?
No, I'm not wearing the bow
No.
tie. Couldn't figure out how to get it on. I have Derpy
Damn it.
Hooves. I have a Derpy Hooves bow tie that my awesome friend gave me like a while ago, and so now I have one of those.
Nice.
Ambient noise has been doubled. Yeah.
That's gonna happen a lot.
It's gonna happen a lot.
So-
People are having conversations. People are going on with their lives while we're just, recording here, making a podcast.
Not going on with our lives.
No, pretty much not going on with their lives.
All right.
You want to just talk about stuff? What we kind of wanted to do is to kind of give you guys a rundown of important stuff in the fandom and cool stuff you should check out, kind of the best, or just stuff we've had on our mind recently. Things that might
This
be fun.
includes an entire list of every fanfic I've read for the past week, I think.
Which is probably around 200. So we wanted to give you this kind of list of cool things to check out, maybe over the holidays, maybe just whenever. And then do a little special Christmas thing. So, hearthwarming thing. PC. Anyway, let's get started.
Stop. Let's not. Sorry, I was just thinking.
You want the 80s music in the transition?
I mean, what's playing right now? Because it may be picking up. I don't know.
If that's picking up the music, otherwise I'm just dancing to nothing. There we go. Welcome to Longneckville. Speaking of so much editing to do. So let's get started.
How cool would it be if I was an actual animator and could make this, but with our OCs?
That would be
Because
really cool.
when you mentioned Christmas instead of hearthwarming, I was like, I'm pretty sure people are going to forgive you because we're actual humans, not ponies. And I was like, wait, what if we were?
It's a
I was
good
like,
idea.
I could animate this. It would take forever, and it wouldn't be a video. It would be more like a PMV,
Rainbow
this
Dash
type of
Prevents
style.
type? How about Rainbow Dash Presents
Yes,
style?
yes, that type of style.
Yeah.
But it would still be a thing.
We should do it.
Yes. We should totally
Alright.
do it.
Watch for us next year when we're coming with our all-animated show. Watch his eyes get wide as he tries to think of how much time that would take.
Well,
Any animators?
it would be a phone call. Outsourcing it to India.
Bangladesh? I hear you shouldn't chew on ice with bad for your teeth.
What?
I said polar ice caps are... Or no, I said you shouldn't chew on ice because it's bad for your teeth.
Oh, really?
Really? According to Zaphod Beeblebrox and other various sources.
All right.
So let's get started.
Let's begin. These two, I do believe. So I'm trying to look up the list. Yes.
Talking about the top two?
No. Our three are ones that I've started, but I haven't finished. And by starting, I mean read the first few sentences, then got caught up in something else. But I will do them. Anthropology by Jason the Human. It's a very famous one.
Cornerstone fic. If you haven't read it, you should read it. Might take you a little while.
Yeah, the theme's huge.
It's not. It's no fault of question. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. But anything over 100,000 words is too huge for me. Mainly because I couldn't write that. It would take me forever.
Fair enough.
Paradiso by Sivek, I do believe. It's an Octoscratch.
Might be Siwak, depending on the font.
It's an Octoscratch fic, obviously.
Obviously. He's reading it?
And The Age of Wings and Steel by D.S.N. E. Smith.
That is one of the most epic stories I have ever read in my life. Ponies aside,
It's
has
one of the
so many
epic stories
original
I haven't
concepts
read, but I will
and cool things.
in my life.
It just has this feeling of epic adventure that you love to see in a story, and it has so many things that aren't overdone. And the read it.
Okay.
Read it.
All right, I'm going to go into fanfic that I have read. The very first one on the list is My Little Dashie by Rob Cakron53. I just read this 3 or so days ago.
Which is funny because everybody knows My Little Dashie.
Yes, I knew it. I'd seen the Flim Flam Philosophy video on it, if you've seen that one.
Yeah.
With the bat who lived in Chokermort. That was interesting.
Yeah. Things get a little skewed on the internet.
This is on the internet.
Yes. And it is skewed.
Anywho, needless to say, I think I cried. Albeit manly tears, but I cried.
Cried with manly firmness.
Firmness.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
like
use that in the context of crying. Like,
yes.
firm tears.
I think so.
Firm
if they
tears.
freeze.
Oh. If your tears frozen, you're probably frozen.
If you cried at Frozen, it's okay. So did I.
You did.
Didn't you?
Now I don't know if I want to say I did.
Coming
because I don't
now
think
from
I did.
Acoustic Brony, Honesty. It's funny.
No, I didn't.
Okay, fine.
Anywho, the next one on the list is The Epic Battle of Good versus Slightly Less Good, but still pretty good in the long run, by, that's the Japanese name again. And I say again because we've actually done a fanfic reading of this.
Which was fun.
It should be up before this video is. If it isn't, then...
We'll probably release
maybe.
it whenever.
Probably.
Probably,
So,
maybe.
either A, if you haven't heard it, go listen to it, or stay tuned for it.
Exactly. That was a very wise way of putting that. Because honestly, in a podcast, you never know when the next thing is going to come out. You never know what schedule is going to work for what thing.
And these are going to be on there for a while, so people
Yes.
may watch this a while from now.
It's true. It's true. You never know until you find out. Next.
Nice. Next one is Swan Lake by 314.
Wait, I thought
Emulating
Swan Lake
Pi.
had been written.
It's titled Swan Lake. It's Rainbow Dash and Scooter.
That reminds me, I invented a new word the other day.
Really?
Plagiarism. I think it's pretty good.
Nice. It's because it was an actual play of Swan Lake. So,
Okay.
it wasn't plagiarism.
Is it just, a parody? What is it?
Well, it's not a parody. Rainbow Dash finds out that Scootaloo is a dancer. And
Okay,
I think
see
they're
that.
sisters in this fic. I think they're sisters. It doesn't really define what relationship they have.
Alright.
But anywho, it's short. It's a short one.
Okay.
Most of these are going to be short. Well, some of
Yeah,
them,
that's true. He has the attention span of a thing with a very short attention span.
aka me.
Yeah.
It was very well done. I liked it. It was really interesting to see him try to describe ballet on 4 hooves instead of 2 feet.
Fair enough. We got to keep this moving.
Yes, sorry. The next one is, I don't know if I want to mention this,
Wound salt, motherbucker.
by Cool Welshie. I'm only going to mention it because he's a pretty cool guy.
Those are two separate words, so it's like a... I don't know
Yeah,
if it's a
two separate words.
euphemism or just a cultural thing.
I don't know. Anywho, I really don't recommend. Okay, it's teen rated. It's definitely teen rated because he gets his cutie mark in swearing people out, cussing people out.
That's kind of funny.
He gets a blackout when it happens too, so he only comes to when he's saying the last few lines of his epic montage of
Monologue?
monologue of just profanities, I guess. I mean, so it doesn't
Equine,
really say
however.
any of them. Yeah, and it's I do believe might be a bit explicit, but
Why would
it's-
you put this on the list? Children, stay at home. Don't listen to
That's
him.
why I said I didn't want to mention
He's
it.
an evil stallion. And he does evil dances, alien.
No.
Moving on.
But he's a pretty cool dude. Check out Cool Wall
So,
Street.
as 2010 would put it, moving on.
I had that down on my list. Dang it.
The
I guess now we got to talk about that.
only part I remember of that song is LOLs. That's it.
Nice.
That's all I remember.
Next one is Timekeeper by Zephod.
Zephod like Zephod Bibelblocks?
Maybe, I don't know. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. Ever heard of Douglas Adams?
No.
So welcome to DJville.
I've been
Is
momentarily
not
thinking
on the
this
show anymore. It's just me. Anybody who's read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy would understand. No, you're just a talking head.
I did. Is that the author? Is that dude the author? What are you doing?
I'm putting my puppet hand in front of your mouth because everything that you say has the value of a puppet. And I'm not talking a Muppet here. I mean a puppet.
I
Yeah.
do know Hitchhiker's Guide.
Okay.
Anywho, going off the Timekeeper.
on
Well, not
probation.
the Timekeeper, just Timekeeper. There was a movie, I don't remember what it's called, but there was a movie a little bit ago about everyone had a clock on the wrist, and the clock counted down to the time you'd meet your significant other.
I know that movie.
Yes.
I don't remember what it's called.
Me neither. Anywho, this is it, but in the
Ponies.
Ponyverse.
Okay.
I
like it.
dig. Candace is the one. Cadence is the one who
Candace.
can't.
Mom, Phineas and Ferb.
I love that show.
I'm writing a podcast.
It's
Treble.
Cadence.
I know what we're gonna do today.
Cadence discovers it through the Crystal Heart, and so
Okay.
that's why it's a
That's
thing.
fun. I like it. I
The
dig.
next one I have to talk about is I'll Always Be Here For You by The Abyss. It's so much feels in this. It's not sad.
Reading this story by the Abyss is sure to cause a rift in your heart.
Yes.
It's an abyss.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for that pun. It's okay. I don't really like.
Can you
main-
understand what I was saying? Can you understand it? I'll just see myself
I
out.
gave him the nickname of Tia a little bit ago, and he didn't understand it.
No, I didn't
It was
understand.
kind of-
He was calling me Tia.
Yes, I was
And
calling
I thought,
you Tia.
wait, I don't even like bananas.
Anywho, I don't really like main six shipping. In between each other. I mean, I'm a big fan of.
I'm not going to
Flutter
explain the Tia thing.
What? No, she's a pun artist. Puns all the time. Literally puns everywhere.
Now you know.
Everyone knows this. At least they should.
Except me. I've been a
Yeah.
pony way longer than you.
Yeah, which was where I was confused.
I knew the cake thing and the banana thing. I mean the banana thing.
I thought bananas were Luna's thing.
No.
Huh.
No. I'm sure you'll find lots of Luna's bananas on the moon.
That was offensive.
No, that was. Moving on.
No, not moving on, because I'm explaining this. It's a Twidash ship.
Remind me what we're talking about.
I'll Always Be Here For You by The Abyss. It's a Twidash
Right.
ship. I don't really like
Main
main
six.
six shipping in between each other, but this one is the exception, because,
Feels.
there's Scootaloo and an adoption and things and...
And staying up till 2 in the morning, drinking lots of Mountain Dew and reading Pony Thick when you should be getting ready for school.
Exactly. Actually, exactly spot on.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what I did for
You
the
know that's right.
entire half of the fic. I read half of it.
How
and
long is it?
I don't know. It's incomplete. Okay, I should say some of these are going to be incomplete.
I hate incomplete fic.
For example, Woonsalt, Timekeeper. The others are finished. This one is incomplete, but it is so good. The next one is...
You have a lot of these.
Yes, I do. The Clothes Make the Mayor by O. Calhoun. First of all, O. Calhoun is one of my favorite writers.
Wait,
He's
O. Calhoun?
awesome.
That sounds like somebody yelling at the dude from Video Game High School. Think about it. Like this could be a Litmus special. I like it.
He's the one that wrote Princess Celestia is Still in Your Bed, if any of you have ever read that.
Oh, that's a
And,
cute story. It's not what it sounds like. It's nice. I like it.
And Twilight Sparkle exports herself repeatedly, which I mentioned earlier.
That was a good one too.
Yes. Anywho, it's an interesting story. I'm not going to explain any of it because, I mean, there are spoilers.
Spoilers.
I don't remember if these are incomplete or not. I think this one might be.
Okay.
The next one on my list is one that is the very first fanfic I read ever.
You have me to thank
Shipping
for
and
that.
Handling by Pegasus Rescue
Brigade.
Brigade. It was...
I love PRB. Oh my gosh. I just gotta say something
so
right
good.
now. Kilowatt Hour is the best
Oh,
character that
yes,
has ever
yes.
been created. Just in
Love that
general.
character.
Like Captain Ahab was aight. Okay. Macbeth was pretty good. But Watt?
Nice.
And the land of Inanima?
Yeah.
Amazing. I love PRB. I love Watt. One of the first songs that I wrote when I first started writing songs, like
Was about
electronically, not about Watt. It was just devoted to Watt. It was like a theme for Kilowatt Hour. Link in the description. It's old and bad, but you know, it is what it is. Basically, I love Kilowatt Hour. And if he wasn't already with Pinky, I wouldn't. Not really like. I probably wouldn't go out with like a pony anyway. So I'd still,
quote.
I'm just saying, if he wasn't already going out with Pinky, I would have more time to spend with him as a friend.
That's definitely what you meant.
That's definitely what I was saying.
Heck, even Hocus Pocus, the sequel to Shipping
So
and Handling,
good.
was so good.
Did
It's
that get
amazing.
completed?
It may have been. I think because a few updates came out for it recently-ish. I'm not gonna say recently-ish because it's a podcast.
Exactly. Time is so relative.
This point that I'm sitting here now, there were a few stuff that was recently released for it, so I don't know if it was completed or
stuff.
not.
By the way,
anyway.
this is recorded on 12/12. If it were 2012, this would be epic. It's not. It's 2014. So, kind of missed the boat on that one, but and the great thing about 12/12 is that it doesn't matter if you're in the UK or Europe, you know, or I realize the UK is in Europe, or America, the United States, still 12/12,
Because they put the day first, and then the month, and then the year.
which
is-
makes a little bit more sense.
It does.
To be
It's-
honest.
it's weird, but it does. It makes sense. It's like the metric system.
Think of it like a pyramid.
It's weird, but it makes so much sense.
Think of it like a pyramid where the smallest goes on the top, medium size goes in the middle, and the largest goes on the bottom. Day, month, year. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. I don't know why it's not like that in the US, but it probably should be.
Okay, I only have a few left, and I mentioned to you a little bit ago that I found a kryptonite in the fandom.
Okay. Your
My
own
previous
personal kryptonite?
my old kryptonite, which
He
is
eats
still
green
completely
rocks,
valid.
which is not the same as doing meth.
It's still completely valid. Is anything to do with Octoscratch?
This
It's-
represents half of Octoscratch.
Yes. I should have brought my
You should have brought your
Octi.
Octi.
He got me an Octi plushie. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
I saw it. I was like, this is so Treble. He probably like put her in the middle of like a shrine in his room and like put MLP comics around it and like candles
I don't
and
have
incense.
any comics actually.
The comics are so good. If you've never read the comics,
Yeah, I should.
okay, you know what? As soon as we finish recording this, we're gonna go over to Books A Million, right over there, and read some comics.
All right, definitely what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
So Octoscratch was and still is my kryptonite, but the next one is
Probably my favorite ship.
Button Bell, Button Mash and Sweetie Belle.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it is amazing.
Mom! Okay, I'm not gonna. I just realized how loud you have to be to attempt.
Hi, my name's Button Mash.
Yeah, and we're already getting weird looks for this. It might be this pony cup that I have, and it might be the other ponies that we have.
He went to the counter and bought a fountain drink, and then asked if he could put it in that cup. It was.
Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, and I like Mountain Dew. If we had Doritos, this podcast would be maximum nerdy, but it's at about 85%.
I could think of some more stuff that would add to it. We should do that film podcast.
Yes.
Where it's the absolute maximum we can go.
Let's do this. Future plans. You guys remember this because it's going to happen. We're going to play Black Ops and eat Doritos and drink Mountain Dew out of pony cups wearing Star Trek shirts and
I
like
need to get myself a Star Trek shirt.
TARDIS hats. I don't know. Something nerdy.
Ooh, I need a TARDIS hat.
We all need a TARDIS hat. You know, I bought a TARDIS hat recently. Yeah, and at first I thought it was going to be too small because when I looked at it, it didn't fit. But fortunately, it was bigger on the inside.
No. I'm sorry.
Okay,
No, it was,
that's fine.
I'll give it to you. Those.
I was going to say put that on B/funny, but apparently not.
Moving on with Button Bell. These fics are by the rated Pony Star, The Gift of the Mash, and The Dance of the Mash.
I like those titles. Those are good.
Yes. Now, The Dance is the sequel, and it is incomplete, and he needs to finish it. He needs to write it. It's the first. There's only one chapter to it, but it is good.
I've just realized how many links we're going to have to put in the source.
I don't care.
A source
They're
is a source,
worth it.
of course.
They're definitely worth it. But The Gift of the Mash is so good. And then
Kryptonite.
Then the next one is.
If I go crazy, will you still call me Superman?
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
There we go.
The next one is Button Mash and Sweetie Belle playing Minecraft
I like
by
that.
Quilliam Penn. I used to be a Minecrafter. I haven't gotten on in quite a while. But because I used to love it, I decided to read this fic, and
You're frozen there, Treble.
it broke some circuits in my head. It
Noticed
was
that. The few circuits that were left.
Yeah, it was
Broken.
So good.
Treble?
Yeah.
He's still with us.
Yes, I am.
He's in rehab.
That actually concludes it for me for my
Fanfic?
fanfiction. Do you have any fanfiction?
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. I tend to read stories by a few authors, and I'm very loyal. However, sometimes after reading a story by an author, they don't update, and so I'm left with this incomplete fic, and then I have to just wait around until they get around to posting again, and then I forget to. So here's what I'll tell you.
I'm tracking like 23 stories. That's
Here's what
fine.
I'll tell you. My favorite author in the fandom at all ever.
The
and-
Descendant?
Yes, The Descendant. Anybody who tracks me on FimFiction will know this. The Descendant is my all-time favorite author. I love this kind of, like, little brother, big sister / mother, son / friend thing that he does with Twilight and Spike. And anybody who knows The Descendant knows that Twilight and Spike are, like, that's about his favorite relationship to explore. And it's great. I love stuff that he writes. I like the other stuff that he writes, stuff about the cakes and whatnot. And basically, I just...
On another note, that dude over there has Pink Floyd shorts.
He's
How
wearing
cool
Pink
is
Floyd
that?
shorts. See if we can get him on the show.
And he's got this beanie on. It's awesome.
I don't know.
Sorry.
He's wearing... Here's
I
the thing.
like to people watch.
Well, here's the thing. It's freezing out. Okay, get ready for the best joke ever. It's freezing out, okay, and it's really cold. You'd expect him to be wearing snow pants. He's wearing shorts. So he's going around outside in these Pink Floyd shorts. You figure he probably can't feel his legs by now, which would make him comfortably numb. Come on.
I'll give
High
that
five.
one to you.
All right. moving on to talking about The Descendant even more. Well, my favorite story ever is Tangled Up in Blues by The Descendant. I love story of blues and how he goes on his epic quest of blues and meets moody blues, and it's funny and it's poignant. It made me cry and it made me crack up. In fact, that was the first time I ever read part of a pony story out loud to the rest of my family. We were on a road trip, and I was reading it on my big clunky laptop that I had at the time. And I started cracking up, and they're like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "I'm reading this story about My Little Ponies, but they're not the ones from the show. They're original characters, and it has music in it." And I didn't know how to explain that, but I read it out loud, and it was funny, and it was good, and I think we hugged. Or, no. But they laughed, and basically, I love The Descendant, and I'm like, just love all the stuff he's ever written. The other one, probably, I'm trying to remember the first fanfic that I ever read, and it might have been My Little Dashie, because our friend Slipper Putty was like, he was the first one of us to become a brony, and so he was talking about it all the time, and so when I became a brony, so I was the next to go, I read My Little Dashie, and cried at that one. But we already talked about My Little Dashie. So also, Why Am I Pinkie Pie by Hoopy McGee. That's one of the first things I ever read. And it was just hilarious and random. I went back and read his other stuff like Project Sunflower. And just, Hoopy McGee is just an excellent writer.
He's actually got a new sequel to
Project Sunflower?
No. The what?
I'm gonna talk about Cinnamon Swirl, aren't you?
Cinnamon Swirl. That's it. That's his name. He's got a new sequel as
To School of Hard Knocks?
Yes, he's got a new sequel to that, I do believe.
A sequel to School of Hard Knocks?
Yes.
Gotta read it.
It's short, I do believe.
Okay.
I think the text is incomplete, but it could be a complete shorted fic. Because it could be one of the things where each chapter is a short, different type of story.
I trust him. He's never left me hanging. You know, there are those authors that have like these awesome ideas and then they just leave them incomplete. Master Weaver. But then there are the excellent authors who just say they're going to write something and then they do and they finish it and it's awesome.
And then there are those of us who don't have a very good story to begin with and leave it incomplete.
Yeah. Actually, I was talking to you about this the other day. I said I mentioned Absolute Anonymous.
Yeah.
And you hadn't really heard of her.
No.
The funny thing is that most people who have heard of Absolute Anonymous think that she's a guy, which is just kind of an assumption people make about people on the internet, if you hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit weird, but she doesn't really write anymore, but she was this really, really popular writer when I first became a brony a couple years ago. And she had this story, what was it called? It was the one about Pinkie Pie, and it was like a backstory. I'm not talking about Pinkie Pie Watches Paint Dry. I think she wrote that one, which was funny. But
wait, that was a show. That was in the show. Pinkie watching Paint Dry.
Oh, it was. And
the...
actually, because Absolute Anonymous had written the story. Yeah, well, Absolute Anonymous had written the story Pinkie Pie Watches Paint Dry a long time before that episode came out.
Ooh.
But not necessarily before the episode was written, if you think about it. And so when the episode came out and it had Pinkie Pie watching paint dry, they were like, "Oh, come on, surely they ripped off this famous person on the internet," which I don't think is what happened. I think it's just a funny concept that they both stumbled upon. But anyway, you slice it.
Concept.
Absolute Anonymous is just a classic writer, and you've got to read her stuff if you haven't. Another one that I found was fun was a novice swordsman in the Canterlot Court by Dungeon Miner. And there have been some sequels, but I still contest that the first book was the best. Basically, it's the story of this guy who, you've surely heard of A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Yeah.
I've read like half of it. I never finished it.
Honestly, I thought the first half was the best anyway. But, so Dungeon Miner wrote this story, and it was really fun. Later on, he got some people to edit it, which is great because it was like a great story concept, but kind of poorly written, and now it's like better written than it was. Anyway, it's a really fun story about this guy, Alan, who goes on a camping trip, and he like falls. And listen to me when I'm talking. And he falls into this ditch and kind of bangs his head. Well, you know how Connecticut Yankee starts. And he ends up in Equestria. And so he kind of has to. What he finds out is that.
Humanoid or pony?
As a human. What he finds out is that King Arthur had actually gone to Equestria when he sailed off in that boat, you know, in the King Arthur stories. Instead of dying, he went to Equestria. And so they know what humans were. Well, Celestia and Luna did, but not everybody, else did. So he has to kind of fit in, and he also takes on the mantle of this Pendragon of Equestria. So it's really fun read. It's full of humor. The first chapters follow episodes from the show, and it gets more and more different from the show as it goes on. So that was kind of one of the classic fics that I remember reading when I was first, reading a lot. I remember when I was first in Brony, I read a ton of fanfic, and now I read some fanfic. So Treble here is a fairly new Brony by our standards, and he reads a ton of fanfic. So we'll see how long it is before he reads some fanfic.
I'm a new Brony since 37 minutes ago. He just kind of pulled me in and we started the podcast.
Yeah, he works here.
That would... Actually, that'd be interesting. If we tried to get someone to come on the podcast.
Let's go to Hot Topic sometime. Pull somebody in.
They would actually know what this is.
They would. And it would just be like, you want to be a Brony for a day? They'd be like, do you have any money? It would be like, no. They'd be like, neither do we.
Fame. Maybe. Not really.
Anyway. So that's about it for fanfic.
Actually, before we conclude...
It's not it for fanfic.
I just want to bring up the Octoscratch prompt collab. I think I've mentioned this before.
I think
because I've actually written some for it.
It's not bad either.
Thanks. It's actually pretty good. Some of the people there are awesome. So if you haven't looked at it, go and look at it. Because
chewing ice is bad for your teeth. Sorry, you were talking.
It's I like it. Actually, if you haven't seen any of the prompt collabs, you probably should.
Yeah, they're really interesting. I hadn't seen a lot of them before, and then Treble was telling me about them, and so he showed me some of them, and basically they just, well, describe what the prompt collab is.
It's one person starts off by writing a fic, and then they go, hey, here's my fic. Here's the next prompt. The prompt could be tail. And then someone would say, hey, I claim tail. They have to write a story about tail and then put in another prompt at the end. So
now, does this happen with people actually posting stories, or is it kind of in the threads?
It's in thread. It's in
Okay.
thread. So you have a list of, actually it could range from anywhere from 3 to 17 different prompts that are available at the time. You just pick the one you want to do and then write about it.
Okay.
Add a new prompt in, and keep going from there.
That's fun. Kind of this round robin style thing.
Oh, actually, Dr. Scratch did do a round robin.
Yeah.
Oh, they haven't released it yet, so I don't know if I want to mention that. However, caution, because it is a prompt collab, many different people are writing many different short stories. They're not all rated,
Okay.
so
Makes sense.
some of them are a little interesting.
Yeah, I remember when I participated in the Ponyverse, which is a collection, like a collaboration of pony poets. That was on FimFiction. It went feature box. It also got featured on EQD, which was fun. I did it with, I think, who was it? Appalachian Psychiatrist, or was it the other guy? Basically, the guy who put it all together had very NSFW stories, but then he got everyone together for Ponyverse, and everything was rated E. So it was interesting how that worked. Interesting with the ratings and seeing how everybody, because when you have a collab, you kind of have this this modicum of trust, you know, that everybody's going to stay within these certain guidelines, because there's not all that much you can do if somebody doesn't.
Well, for the prompt collabs there are, because we put the stories into thread. We don't put the stories into the actual story itself.
Well, exactly.
Someone compiles, someone puts them in their own, into the actual collab that you guys will read, the front end, I should say. So, yeah, nothing is going to get through that isn't suitable for everyone.
Okay.
However, no, I'm not going to say that because some of the stuff isn't suitable.
Let's remember
for
that
everyone.
to start off with is Octoscratch.
Yeah.
And we're not talking University Days Octoscratch. We're talking anything goes Octoscratch.
University Days was practically anything goes.
Well, yeah, but it was more polite about it.
That is true. I like those stories that are polite about it.
Okay. To curtail the massive amount of editing we're going to have, you want to move on to music?
Sure.
Move on to music.
I didn't want to know if I wanted to mention mine, but that's only like chapter 3. So
Oh,
that's a
if
good
you
idea.
want to, link it in source.
Sure. Shameless promotion. I've started my own Octoscratch fic. Big surprise there. It's only in chapter 3 or so it's not going to be done for a bit.
Link in description anyway.
Moving on to music.
Music. This is where we really shine
You shine.
with
This
anticipation.
Dude, I watched this dude build a rock song in 11 minutes. That's
It's not that hard, given 11 minutes to build a rock song.
You have to know what to do first. That's where
Okay,
I fail.
true. But your technical knowledge of mixing and stuff exceeds mine. I just kind of bang on a keyboard until things happen. So, let's be fair
But
about
you bang
this.
on it a lot harder and faster than I do.
Okay, well, music. Not talking about our music. We're talking about good music. The first one you had on this list is...
this one is the featured artist of the... I don't know if I want to do featured artist of the week like I do in the podcast, because this is kind of special.
Yeah.
However, featured artist of the week is
Is.
Gato Paint. Or Gato Paint?
I would say
Gato
Gato, like,
Paint. Yeah,
like
Gato.
Gator, or like Cato, the Roman orator.
He's amazing.
Okay.
My favorite song of the week, because I have a different favorite song
Every
that
week.
often, is Fade to Gray by Gato Paint and Pony One Kenobi.
Oh,
Yes.
I like that guy.
Yes. It's a very, very good song. It's going off of Discord Who's, which is pretty impressive. Moving on to singles.
Yeah.
I should probably
We're
say...
talking about single songs, not
Single
bronies
songs,
who are
yeah.
single. But
You mean the fandom?
Too far.
I'm sorry.
We're sure there are bronies that are not
proposals
single.
at cons.
It's true, but have there been any acceptances?
Wait, are you? Did they not accept? I haven't seen them.
I don't know. No, I've seen proposals at cons. I'm just never quite sure of the outcome.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, wait, they didn't accept.
And if it's at a furry con, if it's at a furry con, who knows? Maybe some random person just accepted a proposal because everybody's in a fuzzy furry thing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Saying, could happen.
Moving on to singles in music.
Music.
We have House of Glass by Forever Free Brony.
I gotta
which
say
is-
something. First of all, Forever Free Brony, that's dangerously close. I had the name Forever Free as like a long time ago. Then Forever Free Brony came along, and I thought, you better watch yourself.
To be granted, he's really good. So
Yeah, he's better than
I'll
me.
give him the. It's a Trixie song, which is surprising because I don't really like that character.
Was it featured on EQD?
No.
Really?
Maybe.
Somebody write to Seth at once.
It was
On
in-
EQD?
On EQD. I don't know if it was featured.
I was gonna say, it has
Um,
Trixie, and Seth is awake, it gets to
I
EQD.
was gonna say, I think Prince Whatever's Constellations was there, which I guess I don't need to talk about anymore because I just did. Go check out that one too.
Exactly.
Okay, Giggles and Gumdrops by Forever Free Brony.
That's a fun title.
You haven't heard it?
No, I haven't heard a lot of new music because I've been
it
busy doing
is-
stuff.
It was last week's favorite song. We didn't have a podcast last week, so I wasn't able to talk about it. But it's Pinky. Pinky song. Oh, it's so good. I love it.
You've got me. I'll listen to it. May even download it legally.
With money.
With money. I bought them legally with money. Tommy DeSolo. Classic.
Next one is a cello duet cover by Winter Muse.
When you say cello duet cover, are you talking about two actual cellos?
Two actual cellos playing Love Is in Bloom.
You're talking about real cellos?
Yes.
Real celli,
yes.
I should say.
Cellos.
Celli, isn't it?
I don't think it is.
Ucelli.
Because it's violoncellos. Which is the full name, which is really weird.
Gotta look
if you look
that
at
up.
the full name, it's violin with an extra O in there, cello, all one word. Violoncello.
Interesting.
It's weird. And I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I can already tell that.
Yeah, I can see it by the look on your face. You're disappointed.
Anywho, this duet cover by Winter Muse is Love Is in Bloom, and I could fall asleep to it.
Now,
it's amazing.
Is it one guy playing two cellos, or
It's
is it
a girl, I think.
one girl playing two cellos, or did they actually find two people
No,
in
they
the
have two
same
people.
area
Yeah, they have two people who play cellos.
who play cello?
Yeah,
That's
because they
impressive.
have other stuff. I like it.
That's cool. That's just rad right there. That's radical. It doesn't get much cooler than having two cellos in the same vicinity.
Now, I don't know.
Play them with skill.
I don't think I mentioned this song before. Supernatural by Ken Ashcorp and Supernatural by Ken Ashcorp, the Glaze remix.
Is that the trap remix?
No.
No.
It's the Glaze remix.
Glaze remixed it.
Yes.
Glaze is in Wooden Toaster?
Yes.
Oh, he never does stuff. He did
Well,
a thing.
He's doing stuff recently. He's still active,
We'll qualify
actually.
that, actually. Mike the Microphone never does stuff. Glaze never does stuff. Which means that he does stuff fairly often.
He's
Living
actually
Tombstone
still
always
active,
does stuff.
which is when I first started the fandom, I thought he wasn't active anymore. But
Yeah. Common misunderstanding. Given his long periods of inactivity.
so
The
good.
sudden explosions of creativity.
it's not necessarily pony related, but it's Gravity Falls. If anyone's seen the show,
And it's Glaze, so it's kind of...
it's good.
Yeah.
It's also Ken Ashcorp,
Ken Ashcorp.
which is good too.
Yeah. I think one of the first songs that I ever heard in fandom was 20% Cooler by Ken Ashcorp, the DJ Alex S remix. But go ahead and talk about your next thing.
You already mentioned it. Is Moving On by 2010.
Moving on.
I just found out about 2010 not too long ago. It was just a little bit
really
ago.
surprising because I've been telling him about 2010 for like a year now. First of all, whenever Mike and Lowell's do anything, it's awesome. But
Well, I've
into
known
that
about
mix,
2010 for 4 years, so
funny. I'm just saying, whenever Mike and Lowell's get together and in a music way and do something, it's awesome. You add Living Tombstone and Glaze, and who else? Is it just those four?
No. I
Tombstone,
don't know.
Glaze.
I'm gonna say Ashley Jubilee. That's not correct.
Is-
I'm sorry.
Is Rude Brat isn't part
no,
of 2010.
No. Amethyst Jubilee? I don't remember the
But Rude
one
Brat did that
who
song with
did
them,
Moving On.
Obsolete. Yeah.
Anywho, I only remember her because her OC is really cool, and it's featured on the video.
Fair enough.
Uh,
Moving On is just the catchiest song ever.
It's amazing. It's
Moving
interesting
on.
to say the least.
Yeah.
It's kind of rock / dance / rap.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit one certain genre.
It flows
I feel,
really well. Well, and it
but-
also has that dubstep part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't really fit
That's
one
why
exact
it kind
genre.
of reminds me of some Lonely Island stuff, where it kind of changes in the middle a little bit. It could be anything. I've got to say, it's one of those songs that you kind of wish it would become like a pony swag type thing, where everybody does their own version of it. Like everybody, writes their own verses, and I'm sure people have. It didn't
Swift Storm
really.
did a cover of moving on.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I think that there needs to be another central rap song in the fandom, because everybody remembers when Pony Swag came out, everybody became a rapper all of a sudden, and some people weren't very good. At the time, I wasn't very good, and so I didn't even do anything with it.
Good. In fact, I don't even qualify as one, so that doesn't even work.
But it's just that we haven't had anything to kind of unite us as pony rappers in a while, and I think it'd be really cool if a really catchy song came out that everybody could write their own verse to, you know, do a cover of, even just a like the mega mix of Pony Swag that Lols did back in the day, you know, that would be cool. I'd really like to see that in the fandom, kind of another pony rap mega mix, maybe for another, I don't know, another Bronies for Good type thing, album coming out, ideas. These are just cloud castles here.
Wintermute is an artist. Academy Power? I think it's Academy Power. Is the new Balloon Party album.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Balloon Party.
It's amazing. There's like 40 different artists.
It's quite a bit like what Soup can do.
And Dream Chan did a cover of Awesome As I Wanna Be, which was actually a very good song. The Dream Chan cover. I don't really like the Equestria Girls, so wasn't that...
Not too keen on Equestria Girls?
No. Mainly they look weird.
They do look weird. I gotta confess, I haven't seen Rainbow Rocks yet.
I haven't seen either of them.
I know, we're gonna fix that. I was really excited for Rainbow Rocks. I saw all the clips, you know, that came out kind of prior to it. I saw the vinyl one. I was super excited.
That one was good.
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta get to see that. I'm not opposed to Equestria Girls. I don't like it as well as the show, to be honest. Well, now that we've moved on past moving on, I gotta just say right here that I think it's time to kind of boil down music a little bit for you guys, Brony music, and talk about one or two artists or songs that are just kind of cornerstone songs of the fandom. And I know
that's not one or two artists or one or two songs. That's a lot more.
I'm bad at math, okay? Okay. Kind of cornerstone songs of the fandom, like, these are the ones that I heard when I first became a Brony. And like I said, I think the first one I ever heard was the DJ Alex S, as he was called at the time, remix of 20% Cooler by Ken Ashcorp. I heard that way before I ever heard the original version by Ken Ashcorp. And so it was kind of that song that made me realize that pony music could be really cool. And so after we just got some more weird looks from some people going out.
Oh, for the record, the dude in the Pink Floyd shorts had a Jurassic Park shirt on.
We need to get that guy.
He's already gone.
Dang it. Oh well. Anyway, cornerstone songs of the fandom, and I realize there are a lot more than just these, but these are ones you have to check out. You have to know about. You probably already know about them, but if you're new, you might not. And if you're only listening to new music, you need to stop for a second, rewind, go back to the good old days, which is a song I should have mentioned already, and listen to these classic pony songs. So,
with me through the
well, that's the chorus, but that's actually the chorus from Autumn by Jackalope. So, first, you need to know the song Discord, and not just the Living Tombstone remix. You need to know the original version by Super Pony Beat, Travis Odyssey, whatever other name.
All the other remixes of the song,
Eurobeat,
because
Brony.
there are too many for me to count.
And the artist has too many names for me to remember. I knew him as Super
Brony.
Pony Beat. See? Eurobeat Brony, Travis Odyssey,
Brony.
Super Pony Beat.
Super Pony Beat, that was his old thing.
Exactly.
Actually, is he doing anything anymore? I don't know.
I don't know with all those names. It's hard to tell. Also, he's the one who did the Luna song. Luna, won't you cry for me? Yeah, it's an awesome song, and the Alex S remix of that song, one of my top favorite songs ever.
The Aviators remix of Luna is my
favorite. I like Aviators remixes.
They're
now
good.
Beyond that, Beyond Her Garden, gotta know that song. Wooden Toaster or Glaze. Also the various remixes of that, particularly the Living Tombstone remix, which is what sparked Beyond Her Tomb by Mike the Microphone. Now that wasn't his first song, it was maybe his, second or so. I think he did Sonic Rhyme Boom before he did Beyond Her Tomb, and I could be wrong. But when he did Beyond Her Tomb, that dropped and people went crazy, and he got bumped up to the celebrity status that he has now, except it was crazier at the time because he was actually making a lot of things.
Because we got a mic on the mic. I don't know the rest.
Mic
I just know that.
on the mic.
That's what I said.
To wreck the scene. Yeah, it's the rhythm. Lul's back in the track 4 machine, causing havoc in case I come to try and stop it when you see messing with these boys are repping 2010. See? Boys are repping 2010. So that's why you should have known about 2010. Anyway.
I didn't get that. I thought was it made in 2010? It may have been.
I don't think it was made in 2010. I think they're referencing October 2010, which is when the first episode aired.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it was made in 2011. I know that it was one of the top 100 songs of Everfree Network in 2011. Okay.
Of course it was.
Beyond that, another Mike
It's
the
huge.
Microphone song and Wooden Toaster, Nightmare Night, where Mike uses his scary, dark, deep rap voice and tells you why you should be scared of Nightmare Moon. Great song, and you probably should know that one already. The Equestria Daily Song by Mandapony. Mandapony has been one of the cornerstones of the fandom for years, and he's kind of gone on to become a little bit of celebrity in what you would call real life, which is cool. It's cool to see these artists
Really?
kind of, they kind
I
of
don't keep in touch in real life.
grow
so I don't
out
know.
of their kind of mold, kind of break that, do real things on real shows with real people. I understand that people in the fandom are also real people, but let's be honest, not a lot of people are going to know about you outside of the context of the fandom if you only make things in the fandom. So it's cool that he's kind of becoming this professional musician and moving on in that way. Another song is Autumn by Jackalap. Well, really any of his season songs. Summer, autumn, winter. I'm not sure if he did a spring. That might have been the Fluttershy one.
He did do a spring. That was Big
Okay.
Mac. I do
That was the
believe.
Big Mac one?
Yes.
Okay. I clearly have forgotten things as time has gone on.
I've only heard Autumn. and
Autumn is
Spring,
probably his
so-
most classic out of all
Yes.
of them.
Oh, never mind. I've heard Summer.
And from Autumn, we get the hook to Good Old Days, which had Mike the Microphone and Living Tombstone. Was that all?
Wooden Toaster. Wait, was it Wooden? No.
Was Wooden
no,
Toaster in it at all?
I don't know.
I don't think
Wasn't.
so.
I mean, if it was, sorry, but
Yeah. Now, Forest Rain is also one of my all-time favorites.
Oh,
Join
yeah.
the Herd and Aishiteru, songs like that. Classics. Join the Herd is probably the most brony song out of all of them.
definitely.
Probably the most. It
like
screams
it.
brony. Just, it's like an anthem. Now, I did want to talk about Alex S for a second. A lot of people who've just gotten into the fandom don't know about Alex S, and it's partially because he hasn't made any pony music in a while. And I remember a couple years ago, there's this big Tumblr thing. There's this thing on Tumblr where he said something to the effect of, "Hey guys, I decided I'm not really gonna make pony music anymore. I don't want to be just a pony artist. I'd like to just be a musician," which is cool. And he's still making stuff under, I think, Alex S EDM, which I'm not sure if he changed to that when he stopped making pony music or just changed to that in general a little while before that. He used to be known as DJ Alex S. And that's when he did the remix of 20% Cooler and his his Stephen Magnet song, whatever that was called.
Oh,
Yeah.
he also did Ultimate Sweetie Belle, which is
Yes, Ultimate Sweetie Belle. And
Heavy. I
the
like
theme remix is my favorite remix of the theme that I've heard. Basically, it's so many classic songs, and they tend to get forgotten a little bit as time goes on, and people haven't heard of him because he's not making pony music. So definitely go check out all of Alex S.'s old stuff, including Party with Pinky, which is the first or second song that I heard after joining the fandom. Now, one of the first artists that I knew about after joining the fandom was Omnipony. What was cool about Omnipony is that he was like 13 or something at the time, and a bit like Daniel Rustich, who's another one of my favorite artists. But he just had so much crazy talent, particularly in dubstep, and not
well,
just
he's Alex S.'s brother.
really.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
serious right
He's his
now?
younger brother.
I don't know how I went 3 years without knowing that. I feel
Which
like
is
an
why
idiot
I
slash like
mentioned him before the show because
highly-
we were talking about Alex S.
I don't believe that.
A lot of people didn't, but
I can't. How did I not know that?
I have no idea.
That's insane. That's absolutely incredible. Wow.
It was pretty cool.
Wow. I might need a minute.
Continue.
Fortunately, that's the last artist I was going to mention anyway. I was just going to say that Dragon, Greed, and Clouds were kind of some of the songs that got me into pony music the dubstep side. Also just got me into dubstep as a genre because I hadn't heard much of it before that.
I was gonna mention Evening Star, if none of you have heard him.
Okay.
Talking about backbone artists of the fandom. Well, for me at least, he is, because I found out about him early on, as in before I was in the fandom, I believe. But I heard of his stuff that he was doing that wasn't part of fandom, and I was like, this stuff is good. And continuing on his channel, I found these other songs, especially Octavia by Evening Star, which is to this date one of the oldest songs that's maintained with me. It's classic. Is it drum step? No,
I couldn't say.
I don't think it's drum step. It's more classical, soundtrack-esque, but it's good.
Soundtracks, like trailer
Very
music?
good. Yes and no, because it's more slow and calming than that.
Okay. Cool. Would you call it orchestral?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Speaking of orchestral, Carbon Maestro is another backbone artist for me, at least. He's soundtrack and stuff. He's the one who did the, what'd you call it? Derpy and Carrot Top's epic, just Derpy and Carrot Top's epic. You saw that.
Oh, I saw the one that's linked with the comic?
Yes.
Well, not comic.
No,
They're
no.
just pictures,
They're
right?
pictures by, actually, ZMO5, I was going to mention somewhere and didn't get the time to, which I'm going to now. His stuff is amazing. It's got this realism style,
A bit macabre.
fantasy.
It's a little bit
It's
Tim
amazing.
Burton-y, I'd say, in just the way that it's kind of eerie and
Yeah.
creepy and
It's awesome.
it's interesting.
Anywho, Carbon Maestro made an entire soundtrack off of that. So you basically have a fan fiction without any words, because you've got music in these pictures.
It's pretty cool. You got to listen to the music while looking at the pictures and know when to turn the page.
Well, no, because each song is dedicated to a different picture the dude wrote.
Yes.
So
But the upshot to all of this is that together they're awesome. And separately they're also awesome. They're even more awesome together. Do you have anything else to talk about? Or can we do
no,
this?
I'm just gonna mention Feather, just because I can.
You're gonna mention Feather. Okay, go ahead.
I just did.
No, go ahead. Mention it. Like, because we're gonna cut that part.
Feather. There we go.
He said he had to mention Feather, so he was mentioning Feather. Okay, well, with that we come to the end of our show. Well, I mean, it's not really
pretty much no
show.
place to go but out.
Yeah, and
we don't have
outside
this part
is
scripted.
pretty cold. Yeah, if we take the door on the left, we'll advance to the next round and have to fight the final gym master. If we take the door on the right, that's a window. So, I'm not really sure what we do there, but we did have one more thing to do, being that it's hearthwarming, and we want to signify that we, as host and co-host, you get to figure out which one of us is which. We'll alternate every week. You can be the host this week, and I'll be the co-host.
Awesome.
Next week, I'm the host, and you're the co-host. That's right. There's no Chef Sandy complex here.
Technically,
Neither
it
one is
would
inferior.
just be co-hosts.
Yeah. True? Can't we just
True.
both be hosts? Neither one of us
We
be
could
co-host?
both be hosts. Actually, yeah, I guess we are both hosts.
I'll make my own show with blackjack and ponies.
Okay. Have fun getting blackjack on the show.
Yeah, I know it. Oh, is that a Percy Jackson reference?
Oh, I do believe it was.
It was a Percy Jackson reference.
There I go.
Welcome to Percyville. That's not too bad, actually. Okay, one more thing. You've heard of friendship lockets. Well, we've got one of these. What we're going to do is to open this special
I don't even know what it
packet.
is.
It's sealed, so it has that question mark on it. That backwards question mark on it. If I turn it upside down, is it Spanish question
It's not
mark?
going to be backwards in the video because it's going to flip.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's good to know. This forwards question mark means that we don't know which one it is. But let me just explain what these are. This is a My Little Pony Click It, the snappy collectible charm.
You going to read the entire packet?
No, it doesn't have any instructions. As you can see from this picture, each person gets half, and they fit together. This signifies that we're going to be pony friends forever.
That
PFFs, in fact.
It was by far the weirdest thing we've done on this show.
Yeah. And if I'm seeing this correctly, it looks like we have an alicorn twily.
Is it alicorn or just, yeah, I guess it is.
It is. I don't know how to get it apart, however. I feel like, here, you take half, and I'll take half. Twist it that
Twist. Wait, oh, there we go.
and it comes apart
Got
without
it.
breaking. I don't know which half you
It
get.
sounded like it broke.
One of us gets this chain, and the other one has to find a chain. But then, whenever we come
I think
together,
I have a chain.
they fit together, just like that. That.
That.
That.
There we go. Got it.
Pony friends forever. Podcast friends forever. You know that's right. We're wrapping up here.
It's
gonna be awesome.
6 minutes. That was.
Yeah, we've got so much editing to do. We got some ponies to play with. We got some Mountain Dew to drink. We got some more people to weird out by doing this show because we're getting weird looks as it is. Mostly from people outside. It's true. Anyway, until next time,
Pax Phoboscum.
do the thing.
Do 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 do.